So we are here at Hernando County School District, and I'm here with 3 friends. So can I get some introductions real quick?
Yeah, I'm Lori Drenth. I'm the Director of Food Services for the Hernando County School District.
I'm Bill Ward. I'm the System Support Specialist for Food and Nutrition.
And I'm Susan Triolda, the Program Manager of Wellness and Nutrition.
And along with my 3 friends here, I have a 4th friend, Mike Munna. Mike, what do you do?
I'm actually the Regional Director of Sales over at LINQ.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been here since January, really enjoyed my time, and I'm happy to be here today with you guys.
Awesome. And we are here to talk about Titan, a LINQ solution. So Lori, you've been a food service director for quite some time now, right?
16
I'm not calling you
years.
old, but it's like 16 years. Okay.
16 years.
So you've seen a lot of different softwares out there. About how many do you think you've used in your time here?
Actually, Titan is the 3rd, so yeah, we've had a couple of different softwares that we've used over the years, yes.
Okay. And then Bill and Sue, have you guys used any other
Yes.
softwares?
Yes, this is my 3rd one also.
Okay. Bill, second?
Second.
Software? All right. So what was it about Titan that really stood out to you guys? Like, why did you guys make the switch?
Well, I think initially when we were introduced to Titan, and one of the things that I always wanted for the software, the previous software that we had, was something that was more integrated, that it kind of all connected, and I didn't have 15 different softwares, one to run my menu boards, one to do temp taking, one to do inventory, one to do ordering, and just looking for something that was one piece that all worked together seamlessly.
Okay.
And when I heard about Titan, I was like, it's the answer to prayers.
Yeah. And Mike, I mean, you're familiar with other softwares as well too, and talk about Titan and
Absolutely,
how it
yeah.
works.
Like that, like what Lori's talking about is exactly the reason why I decided to come to LINQ, because of the Titan platform. So I actually came from a competitor. At the time, technology really didn't lend itself well to having that central single database that's web hosted. So everything was developed in a modular fashion, and then that information then has to be transferred from one system to another. And essentially what happens with that is you get a lot of redundant data entry and those sorts of things. And so when I heard about the Titan platform and how they started from the ground up in 2014 and wrote it as a single database, it really spoke to me, and I thought this is something that we've always wanted to do but never could accomplish. So it's one of the main reasons that I decided to come over to LINQ.
So one of the things that I've heard is that an item is an item is an item. So what does that mean? Like you enter in something in one module of Titan and it just goes everywhere? Is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure they can attest to this as well. Like I said, the redundancy of data entry. So typically in other softwares, you would have you would have to enter in your items into like the point of sale, for example, and then go ahead and enter items into your back of the house. And a lot of times those things didn't talk. So with Titan, you have one spot which is called item management. You enter everything into item management, regardless if you're using it for your back of the house, your point of sale, or as well for online stores and whatnot. And so you check off these different boxes, which are called item attributes. And those item attributes actually tell the system how you can utilize those items within the Titan platform. So it's really nice.
You guys agree with everything he just said?
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, 100%.
It's nice because especially when it comes to something as simple as just keys, it's like, well, I need to make a key for this or I need to make a key for that. We already have the item in the system for inventory. We just turn it on as a sales item and the button's there on the POS. It's one place to do something rather than touching 5 different systems and hoping things transfer correctly back and forth.
That's awesome. So what was implementation like for you guys? Because I mean, in my past experience, getting set up with the new software is just a pain in the butt. How was it with Titan?
I'll speak on that, I guess, first. Yeah. We had a very short time frame. By the time it got board approved, we literally had about a month and a half to get this software kind of going. So wow. It was really challenging. So
we fast-tracked?
Yeah, we did. We definitely did. But I would say for us, I'm part of the nutrition team, Carol and I, so basically I'm all back of the house. So challenging as far as us being one of the fewer school districts that actually used all of the modules. So we were just, we had a very short time frame to learn it. We did bring our challenges to Titan, and they kind of learned from us, I think, on how they would proceed with next implementation at the next school district. So I think we were kind of the guinea pigs a little bit,
so
which I appreciated.
Almost like a partnership, right?
Yeah, it was, and they listened, and they were our ear for sure, and they listened.
Sorry.
The front of the house was
a breeze.
A breeze.
Yeah.
We had part of what Titan does for their onboarding is they have someone out on site training the district staff, and it gives you a good opportunity to kind of cross-train everybody. So while she's primarily the back of house, she can fully touch all the front of the house stuff, and I know she knows what she's doing because she was all cross-trained at the same time. So it was, for the front of the house, it was super smooth. It was just back of house. It was a big
challenging.
elephant to
Yes.
consume all in a month and a half.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy. So from the IT perspective, that's what you handle. It was a
Right.
breeze, right?
yeah, it was, as far as getting set up with all of our outside vendors and our contacts with other systems like the school information system, it couldn't have gone any easier. That was one of the main issues I have, was getting data in and out of Titan and in and out of other systems. And all that works extremely well with Titan. So it kind of made it easy for me. And then anything after that, what I'm more concerned with is stability and uptime. And it's kind of been a nice set and forget for most of the system.
Okay. And then you guys use point of sale, you have menu planning, inventory also, and digital signage.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How was the setup process for digital signage? Do you have to come out here and hang up signs? Were you able to reuse your existing signs
So
for TVs?
the monitors or the TV units themselves were already existing. Unfortunately, we couldn't use the same hardware that we had for our previous menu board, but that's actually a factor of the previous company having it locked. So the hardware itself could have done it. It just wasn't.
They didn't want to play
Yeah,
nicely,
yeah,
right?
well, it was proprietary. It was just they have a code and they
Right.
wouldn't unlock it for me.
Absolutely.
So we did end up swapping out the actual player units, but once they're installed, it's just an HDMI connection into the TV and it runs, and I can control all 45 screens from my desktop and change anything on the fly. So.
Okay.
And one thing you forgot was the newest component that we just added, which was the temperature
taking.
taking module.
Well, talk to me about that, Lori.
And well, I can tell you that our managers, our employees love it. We gave it to them probably
About a month.
May.
probably about a month. Yeah, the end of May, so
Yes.
that they could kind of play around with it in the kitchens. See what does it do, what does it look like, how does it show up on the production record, and they love it. They say it's so easy to use, and so that's been another real win for us.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a big
Paperless.
fan of less paperwork,
Yes.
and if we can store everything digitally into the cloud and not shuffle paper and store it as a fire hazard in the kitchen, I'm all for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about point of sale. So what were the different types of ways you guys used the point of sale last year?
So last year with the pandemic, we were using a very rapid grab your stuff and go kind of setup. So, and especially because we're a CEP district normally, we don't have to have the full system set up for itemization. But the nice thing about Titan is it's as complex or as simple as you want it to be. So for us, we pared it just down to just a reimbursable meal, just like a counting key, go, go, go. But we have previously used it as a fully itemized system where those sales numbers transfer directly to the production record and move through to the inventory. So it allows you to be as flexible as you need to be.
So Bill, you mentioned itemization, and I know when a lot of districts hear that word, they get a little bit nervous. So Lori, talk to me about how you guys use itemization and why you use it and why a district should use Titan to itemize their items.
Well, obviously, itemization is going to give you a better, control of inventory items that are coming in and out. And number two, it also helps to translate to what the parents see on the Titan portal. So the parents can see all of the different items that the student is picking up. If we're just ringing it as a generic lunch key or something like that, then parents don't really have that full understanding of maybe what the child is actually picking up and eating. So
Cool.
And it's better from an inventory control system anyway.
All right. And Mike, what have you seen, like comparing software to software in terms of itemization?
Yeah, so to me, it's a really great thing in Titan because of some of the other things that it allows you to do. So we have the ability to populate those counts directly to the production record. So that'll pull the counts over every time they click a button on the point of sale. It pulls those serve counts directly to the production record, which makes a manager's life, a whole lot easier. And to Lori's point, from a family's perspective, the family history stuff, At Titan, what we do is we allow the parent, both the parent and the district, to see 4 years worth of data plus the current school year. So if they wanted to go back and look and see what their kid ate last year versus this year, it's a really nice feature to have. So I think that's extremely important.
Well, that's cool. So talking about features, let's go down the line here, right? So Sue, what's your favorite feature about Titan?
I love inventory management. I know Mike spoke on this earlier. That's my baby. That's where Carol and I spend all of our time. And it's just once we understood it and kind of understood what all the little check marks and the attributes actually meant, it's just become my favorite feature.
All right, Bill?
For me, it's probably the reporting module, specifically the data reporting. Titan's reporting module is the most robust and flexible system out there. The data reports themselves allow you to customize just about anything and filter out and get down to what you want and get it out of the system in the way you want. So even if there's not a direct integration with another software out there, I can still pull the data myself out in a custom report. And that's huge. You can build templates from that for some of your monthly reporting that is specific to our district, and they want it in a special format so that it works with however they handle their business process. It gives me that flexibility, and that's huge. You're not just stuck to the canned reports.
So are you saying that if I was using Titan 8 years ago when I was in the school district and I wanted to make a custom report, it wouldn't take me all day to do it? I could just...
I can make one. So
If
that says
Sue can make a
something.
report, anybody can make a report.
You can build out a quick one in about 5 minutes. If you really need to specifically make sure that like columns and column labels line up right, maybe about an hour or two. If you needed to put it out into something like a CSV or a JSON file or something like that, it gives you that flexibility.
So no SQL queries or anything?
Nope. It's all built into the reporting. It does the querying for you.
Wow, that sounds heavenly.
Yeah.
It is. It makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah.
All right.
And like Bill said earlier, set it and forget it. I use that term a lot when I'm doing demonstrations, right? So whether it's those data reports or any other reports, I always talk about like the people that aren't in the school nutrition department per se, like a principal maybe, they want to report every Monday at 9 a.m. You can set that up in whatever format that they want. And like Bill said, save it as a template, and it's going to automatically be emailed to them every Monday morning at 9 a.m. It's in their inbox.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
we utilize that.
Yeah.
I have reports that are scheduled that specifically for our claims that build out the claim for the month, and with those edit checks and some of those basic reports, they automatically generate on the 9th of every month at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're waiting for that person when they come in the next morning. I have it build a Excel file for me to upload our claims, and it pulls all of the transactions for the month and sets it up so that our claims are set up perfectly. So, and it is a direct integration to FDAX for us to do our claim for the month.
Wow.
And that automatically generates. The only thing I have to do is make sure that I lock the accounting period before it runs. That's the only little caveat, is I got 9 days to do that.
Sounds pretty efficient.
Yeah.
So Lori, what's your favorite thing about Titan?
Well, I'm always about the parent-facing or the outward-facing, what the customer experience is, and our parents love the parent portal. They're able to go in and see the menu. If their students have allergens, they're able to take off those allergens and see what their student can choose in the line, make payments, again, transfer between their student accounts. So I'm always looking at, so what does this software provide for the parents and for the community to be able to know and understand what is happening in school food service. And our board and again our parents really enjoy a lot of those features.
So Lori, real quick, talk to me about customer service. What's that been like for you?
Well, I mean, obviously customer service is really important as it relates to food service software. And Titan, in our book, has done an amazing job, just from the beginning, all the way from implementation, all the way to, kind of where we are today. And we've used Titan in a lot of different gyrations over COVID and CEP and those kinds of things. But I can't say enough about the customer service. I know Sue's had a lot of experience.
A lot of experience,
So
yes.
she can maybe talk to her end of it.
Obviously, just learning something new, we would literally just call the number and someone would pick up. You're not in a queue like I've kind of experienced in the past. So it's nice to just pick up and hear, Mickey on the other end, she's our girl in Tampa, and she's, we can talk it through. If she doesn't know the answer, she gets back to us same day. Really responsive, and that's really impressive for such a great company.
It's
So-
nice to work with the same people
Yes,
over and over
yes,
again
they know
too.
our problems. We're like, hey, it's Hernando County again. Oh, hey, and they know us. So it is really nice. I
So what
agree
you're
with that.
saying is like you don't pick up the phone, dial a number, call
No.
Titan, and get transferred 5
Yes,
times,
No, you
Yeah.
pick up and someone answers. It's wonderful.
and they know you.
Great.
Yes.
And there's a relationship
Yes.
there, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly.
Agreed.
There's a
That's,
relationship.
that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
the relationship, and having that relationship just makes everything just that much easier, and not having to explain, well, this is how we do it, and this is how we use it, and don't you remember we had
Right.
this, that kind of thing, and we just don't have to do that, and that's really, really nice.
That
Okay.
was something
Very
that
nice.
really was a problem with our other software was, as the IT guy, when I call 1-800 tech support, usually something has gone majorly wrong. And I would go through every tier level of tech support. No, I don't need to turn it off and turn it back on. Yes, I know what my password is.
Yeah.
We can rule out that I've tried all of those.
Yeah.
And with Titan, they know, well, first off, if something goes wrong in the system, it's wrong for everybody. So they know about it before I do 9 times out of 10. But when I do call, they know immediately, okay, he knows what he's doing. We can skip A, B, and C and look at what the major problems are. And they actually listen when I have insight on this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm not seeing.
Okay. So you mentioned problems. Were there any specific problems or challenges that Titan helped you guys overcome?
Yes, definitely. I think just our short time frame and the fact that we were one of the fewer districts that used a lot of the modules.
Mhm.
The first one in Florida to actually even use Titan. So, but I have to say, again, Katie actually came down. She flew down with us, stayed with us for a couple days. Carol Weekly, phenomenal. Just the support that we got was just above and beyond. So, yes, we had our challenges, but they were right there along with us. They heard us. They've actually implemented a few options now. We had a build your own system when we first started, and we kind of worked around what Titan had, but now there is actually a build your own system that they're using. So they heard us. They heard some of our challenges, and we were able to help other school districts kind of go through the same thing.
So you're saying that through your partnership with Titan, you've
Yes.
actually helped them evolve into becoming a
Yes.
better product.
Yes. Yes.
It is nice to see, a couple months after we suggest
Yes.
something, all of a sudden a new feature
Yes.
update rolls out and we're like, oh, that
That's
looks
us.
familiar.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool.
Kind of want to email all the other clients and be like, oh, you're welcome
You're
for that
welcome.
one.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
Exactly.
So a couple minutes ago, you mentioned something about learning, right? And I hear there's a thing called Titan Academy. What's
Yes.
that all about?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that, honestly, because that was something that affected me personally when I started over at LINQ. So when I started, my boss, I called him and I said, hey, can you teach me the software? I'm ready to learn. He said, no. I was like, what? And he's like, no, what we're going to do is we're going to send you through Titan Academy, just like we would do with any of our customers. And it's awesome. It's an online learning tool where you can go and they assign different courses to you based on what your job role is, right? So in your case, I'm sure you had managers and they had certain things that they had to learn. In my case, I had to learn everything from the ground up. So I was able to go to Titan Academy, go through each section. The videos are between like 5 to 7 minutes long, and it tells you where you're at in your progress, tells you how much you've completed versus how many courses you've been assigned. And then I literally was able to learn the entire system just by following those videos.
Wow.
And they're constantly updated. As we put out new updates, those videos are updated and go out there as well. So it's a huge tool that I've personally experienced, and I know it's got to be helpful to the customers
And
as
it's
well.
helpful to go back, like especially for like those once
Great
a year
point.
things.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I know I need to go set up a calendar. Where was this again?
Right.
And go back and rewatch
Exactly.
the video. And go, 3
Yeah.
months later, I go, all right, I know what I'm
Exactly.
doing.
Yeah, keyword search, and it
Yes.
brings up a list of videos that meets that keyword search, and you're able to actually look at it and see how it was done again, refresh your memory on those end of year processes like you're talking about.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about managers. I know managers are a lot of times they don't like change. So how did implementation go in terms of from the manager side?
It was a little bit of a learning curve because we do have a lot of
Long term.
long-term
Nice save,
employees
Lori.
that- Yeah,
Nice save.
they were a little resistant to changing software.
Yeah.
And when you're starting from scratch, where you're so used to, okay, I have to open up this program to do this, and then I have to open up this program to do that, it was really hard for them to wrap their head around. You log in once, and you have access to everything.
So
now,
single
obviously-
sign-on.
Yes.
Yes.
Single
Yes.
sign-on.
So it was a little, and now things like production records that they're used to doing, it's just how it looks. I mean,
Yeah.
production records are
It
production
just looks
records.
nicer in Titan.
It's,
Right.
it's cleaner.
Yeah,
It's just,
it
you know, how do I finish this? How
Yeah.
do I finalize it? You know, it was just changing terminology. But for some of the stuff that what do you mean I don't have to do an end of day? You just
Yeah.
sign out and go home. You're done. You know, there's no process to that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a real big curve to them. But once they got the hang of it, they were like, we like this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we don't spend any time in the office. And that was one of our goals with Titan, was getting them out of the office from doing the mundane paperwork stuff to out in their kitchens, watching their staff, watching quality of production, interacting with the kids, and
Mm-hmm.
overseeing your kitchen. And you can't run a kitchen from an office.
Right.
Yeah. it's
And
very
ordering too. I think that was
Ordering,
the
yes.
biggest
Yeah.
challenge. Well, don't have to log into USF. No,
Right.
we don't anymore. You know,
Yeah.
it's all in one. So that was the biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's a great point. I
Yeah.
mean, we try our best to continue to establish partnerships
Yes.
with a lot of the larger food vendors. So we have these direct APIs. So instead of them having to, figure out what they're ordering, go to the vendor's website,
Yes.
key in that order.
Yes.
We can actually directly integrate to those vendors, like US Foods, for example, and it'll automatically send that order directly to the vendor
Yes.
without any interaction.
And
Wow.
what's
Great.
nice for us is they already had US Foods when we onboarded, but they implemented an integration with the 3 other vendors that we had within a month or so,
yeah.
and
That's
they were
impressive.
up and running.
Yeah.
So
that is
Yeah.
impressive.
so all of our vendors are electronically
Integrated.
electronically established. So
Right.
that was a big help in that they're going to one place to do their orders. They're not 16 different places. So.
And even for your small local vendors that we can't establish those APIs with because maybe they don't have that type of system, we can still automate that to email to them as
Right,
well. So,
right.
the milk vendors, produce, those local ones. It automatically emails it to them. You can get a copy of that email as well, so everybody knows what's going on in the process.
Okay. So I'm going to ask a question, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Would you guys recommend Titan to your neighboring districts?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we have many times,
Mm-hmm.
many times. I think there's a lot of, I know there's a lot of counties in Florida that are really excited about the things that Titan has to offer. And, I'm happy. Titan does, use Hernando County as a reference, and we're always happy to, let other counties know the great things that we have gained from switching over to Titan, for sure.
I always love that first question. What does Titan do differently? How much time do you have? It's a very different way of doing things, and it's very much set and forget. It's very much a system that you can set up and configure, and as long as you stay within your rules, you shouldn't run into any problems. So.
Yeah. Well, on behalf of Titan and LINQ, I want to thank you guys for trusting them with their solution and being that great reference. And on behalf of Next Gen Network, thank you so much for joining us for this You've Been Served episode.
Hey,
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So you've been watching You've Been Served, featuring Titan, a LINQ solution, with our special guest here at Hernando County.
Thanks for having us, Marlon.
Thanks for being here. See you guys later.